In the glamorous and praise-filled world of entertainment, we often forget that many major stars have gone through deep darkness. One of them is Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta, or as we know her, Lady Gaga. A superstar, a fashion icon, a world-class singer, a Grammy and Oscar winner. But did you know that Lady Gaga used to be bullied, mocked, underrated, even called weird? This story isn't just about music. It's about struggle, emotional scars, and the rise of a girl from New York who turned pain into power. Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta was born on March 28, 1986, in Manhattan, New York. From a young age, she showed extraordinary talent. She could play the piano at just 4 years old. But talent didn't make her life any easier. At school, Gaga wasn't the popular girl. She wasn't the pretty cheerleader. She preferred writing songs and performing in front of a mirror with eccentric outfits, and that made her a target for bullying. They used to call me a freak. They laughed at my clothes, my voice, even the way I walked, said Lady Gaga. At the Catholic school where she studied, many of her classmates thought Gaga was too weird, too different. She was excluded, sometimes thrown into lockers, sometimes picked on just for dressing uniquely. But there was one thing that kept Lady Gaga going: music. Behind all the tears and pain, she kept writing songs. She kept playing piano. At age 17, she was accepted into Tisch School of the Arts, one of the most prestigious arts schools in the world. She wrote essays about art, identity, and how music can be an escape from a cruel reality. But again, the path wasn't easy. Many said, "Your music style is weird." A producer even said, "Your face is too unique to be a pop star." Lady Gaga said, "I realized I'm not Hollywood's version of pretty. But I'm not going to change who I am just to be accepted." In 2005, Gaga started performing in New York nightclubs and small bars. She brought her keyboard, singing her own songs. Her outfits were eccentric. Her voice was powerful. But still, many underestimated her, until one day, she began gaining recognition in New York's underground music scene, and producer Akon saw something extraordinary in her. Lady Gaga then signed a recording contract. In 2008, her debut album The Fame was released, and everything changed. Songs like Just Dance and Poker Face exploded worldwide. Suddenly, the girl who used to be called a freak by her schoolmates became a global music icon. But success didn't erase all her wounds. Lady Gaga later admitted that she was a victim of sexual assault at the age of 19. It led to PTSD and years of severe depression. On stage, she looked strong, colorful, and confident, but behind the scenes, Gaga was battling trauma. Lady Gaga said, "There were times I wanted to give up. But every time I sang, I felt alive again." She poured her pain into her art. Songs like Till It Happens to You and Million Reasons were deep reflections of her wounds. She didn't just sing, she healed herself through music and healed others too. Gaga is not just a singer. She's an activist. She founded the Born This Way Foundation, focusing on mental health and anti-bullying. She visited schools, hospitals, and gave speeches about self-acceptance. Lady Gaga said, "I was bullied for being different. Now I embrace everyone who feels different. Because being different is beautiful." In 2019, Gaga won an Oscar for the film A Star Is Born, along with performing the legendary song Shallow. It was the peak achievement for someone once told they didn't belong in showbiz. Lady Gaga's story isn't just about fame, but it's about the courage to be yourself in a world that tries to change you. For those of you who've been bullied, for those who've ever felt not pretty enough, not handsome enough, not normal enough, remember Lady Gaga's story. A little girl from New York who was called weird, who was excluded, who was humiliated, but today, she inspires millions. If you're watching this and you've ever felt like you don't fit in, like your dreams are too weird, too big, too different, remember this: Lady Gaga felt that too, and she turned it into a life that not only fulfills her, but gives hope to millions around the world. They used to laugh at me, but now, I laugh with those who believe in themselves. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be brave. Lady Gaga said that her deepest purpose is not to be the richest or most famous, but to make people feel less alone, and that's what makes her unforgettable. From a bullied schoolgirl, to a misunderstood outsider, to a celebrated pop queen, Lady Gaga's story is living proof that pain is not the end. It's a beginning. She turned rejection into power, she turned trauma into truth. And she taught us that we don't have to be like everyone else to be the best version of ourselves. So if you're walking through darkness, if the world keeps telling you to be something you're not, remember Gaga's words: "You were born this way. Own it. Embrace it. Shine because of it." Lady Gaga is not just a name, but she's a movement. A revolution in high heels and eyeliner. A melody that says it's okay to cry, to rise, and to speak out loud. If this story touched your heart, if you feel inspired by her journey, share it so more people know they are not alone. Lady Gaga said, "I want you to know, it's okay to be different, because the world needs more people who dare to be themselves." Lady Gaga was once bullied, but she didn't give up. She chose to keep singing. Keep standing, and now, the world listens to her voice. You can too. Don't let others define your life, because sometimes, from the deepest wounds, comes the brightest light.